Yeah, it's a good matchup here. Pitt played really strong against Carnage earlier, like Jahar was mentioning. So I'm really impressed with his play overall. And, you know, he's coming from a clan arena background and started getting dueling in Quake Live and stuff. So this is his first big, you know, event that he's really trying to get into. And he's up against a good opponent, but I have a feeling Pitt might punish that ping a little bit this time. You know, I think the Australian running into some of these top players, we'll see how he handles the ping here.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Of course, that's always going to be a big issue for him. But starting it right off, Pitt just dominates astroboy right from the start, launches him into the air with the rocket, and the quick switch over to the rail, giving him no chance at all, no chance to think, no chance to recover, and in that circumstance, no chance to survive.
Yeah, just great combo. I mean, that's just a classic combo.
Look at this, Pitt's going to continue that too, as he continues the very fast and aggressive clutch play. We saw that in the set earlier versus Carnage. He's going to be continuing that here now. He tries to push in, wanted to try and take down Astroboy right from the start of his spawn. Unfortunately, just didn't really have the health to do that. He did run himself a little bit short from the previous fight too, and he's just barely alive. In fact, he does actually get taken down. The very last second, the trade will come in, bringing it back down to a 2v2.
Yeah, nice rail there by Astroboy. A little bit of the delay because of the ping, and you know, Pitt was a little shocked he got hit, but you know that the shot was fired, man. Yeah, the light compensation, of course, you can see here on the railgun as well, or the LG is definitely going to be showing up a little bit, of course, as it works out and helps Astroboy recover a little bit, but ultimately he still goes down to Pitt there, losing himself under those circumstances, and Astroboy now ends up on his final champion for this run. He's going to be on the Anarchy. Yeah, I think if Pitt stays aggressive here, it should really favor him overall. I think just keep the pressure on the guy with the high ping, force him to continuously make, you know, good shots and things like that, and don't let him get into this prediction game, because it'll benefit him to just kind of peek rail you or peek rocket you and then going for the sure thing kind of kill. You know, force him to actually engage.
Pitt continuing to look for that opportunity he needs to lock down on Astroboy. Gets it now. Unfortunately, the rocket's just not connecting in the way that he would like. Astroboy does hit a rail shot, keeping Pitt's health pool in a pretty manageable position. He's only got 25 armor. Still has the full 100 HP on the Ranger, of course, but Astroboy's in a very similar position, so this makes it a very even matchup. Astroboy is probably going to want to look for a little bit more, however, considering the issues he's dealing with and having to work with his ping and all that. So he's probably going to want to make sure he has his opponent in a really good spot before he...
That was a big miss of the Dire Orb there by Pitt. That could cost him a little bit here, but I mean, he's playing really solid. It may not, but it's just one of those things that, you know, you want back when you see it happen to your team. Yeah, so I would imagine he's a little frustrated with that Dire Orb miss.
Trying to time some of those rocket shots too. But not a big connection against Astroboy there. Let's get away from that one pretty much scot-free, and Pitt again attempting to hit the rails, but not going to be able to lock down the location. And he does move away from the armor now, so he's going to give that right over to Astroboy. He picks that up again, so he's still fully stacked up here. He's got both the health and armor pickups right now.
Yeah, but given he's on Anarchy, one of those things to note is that the base stack of Ranger is essentially the overstack for Anarchy, so even though he has both items, they're pretty much even Steven right now.
Yeah, it's just keeping him at a point where he can still fight out in an open battle versus him. He did actually just kind of waste his last rocket there, so now he does have to leap back up on top to try and look to recover that. But unfortunately for Astroboy, his opponent is controlling that entire area of the map. Not for too long, though. However, it is looking like he wanted to chase down Pitt and actually start a fight with no rocket ammo at all.
I think he's feeling the time a little bit. I know he doesn't want to let it get too much further. He's got 90 seconds here to try to get a tying frag. So, I mean, he knows Pitt has health, so that's the other thing too. Oh, this is just, yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, that's smart by Pitt. He knew his opponent had to push. Astroboy knew he had to push. Some good rocket placement, you know, force him to come through a doorway. It's a wrap.
And ultimately, by getting that aggressive, unfortunately, for Astroboy, he does just push himself into a corner, giving Pitt control over the first round there. I
mean, yeah, you could argue maybe he could have waited 15 seconds longer, but in the end, he had to make a play, and, you know, Pitt, to his credit, made him pay for it.
Great LG work starting off at the beginning here. Unfortunately, hitting Pitt quite a bit. Thankfully, he was able to recover pretty quickly, and now he's just sitting back, remaining quiet, as he waits to see what Astroboy's next move is going to be. He did spot him out in the open there, just to the left of the Mega Health pickup. So he should have a general idea of where he's playing from. Now he has to be able to move in, get the position to pounce on top of him. He has the health advantage, so if he can get him into just an open fight, unless Pitt royally messes up, there's no reason why he shouldn't win the battle. Astroboy has to look for a stealth engagement here to be able to really take a huge advantage over Pitt and have any chance of winning that fight.
It's going to be really hard for him, especially if Pit has the shield up, because the shield, as we've seen, does see, you know, the Nyx when she goes into her ghost walk. So it's easy for Pit to really track down, and the difference in stack is just so hard to overcome.
Keeping a swing around, nicely done. Dodges out of the way. The shield pops off as well. It's going to let him close the gap and continue to fight close range with the shotgun too. Massive damage being done. astroboy barely surviving at sub 25 HP, but a huge mistake from Pit. He leaps on top of his stealthed opponent, and as such, astroboy is going to get a free kill because he shows right back up, and now he gets another one too. He immediately follows it up with a second kill.
Mistakes in this game can quickly snowball. I was a little surprised Pit jumped right on top of that like he did. I thought he was going to jump slightly offline and like leave a rocket up there, but I mean, he went for it.
Well, finally, at the very least, Pit's going to be able to trade out one kill. He's still got 2 more to go now, however. He's been put into a pretty big disadvantage after mistakes he made before.
Given he got that frag back relatively quickly, he's not in too bad a shape here, just being down 1 with, you know, he's got 3 minutes to go, so plenty of match left right now. So he's not in a bad shape.
And for those of you out there that are trying to figure out how exactly that first kill happened, there's a mechanic involved in the Nyx's stealth ability to where if you're standing directly on top of an enemy, when you reappear, you'll instantly kill them and take them out. It's really hard to do, but in situations like that where an opponent makes a mistake and walks right into where the Nyx is standing, it can potentially allow for a free kill to happen, as we saw just there.
Yeah, Astroboy's going to recognize that he used the defensive ghost walk here. Yeah, good defensive rockets there. Astroboy definitely wanted to get aggressive, recognize the ghost walk was down, and Pit just lined him up some good rockets to make him change his mind.
Rail battle going to be starting off here. This is not advisable for Pit in the open, but thankfully both of them are going to be two-shottable here. Pit will get hit first though, so he is forced to back away. But he's not going to be given a whole lot of room to recover here. Hopefully he has good positioning. He's able to wrap back around. His opponent is going to jump back on the top, stealing the armor away, preventing Pit from stealing that from him. He's got the stealth back up too. So Pit can be a little bit more aggressive now, but he still has to move around to recover some of his health and armor before he can really start looking to do that.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot. He's going to be really careful here, trying to get any light armor and health he can. He's got his ghost walk up though, so that is a bit of a saving grace for him. You know, this can turn on a dime for Astroboy. One good ghost walk engagement can really destroy his stack.
Pit spent a second there switching around weapons, so it actually cost him quite a bit in that fight. He's not really going to be able to pursue a more aggressive option against his opponent right now. Still way too low. Finally got the rocket ammo back going for him there too, as he was sitting with 0 rockets for a good 30, 40 seconds, I think, almost. So now he's able to finally pick that back up, and he can run back around and recover all of his health.
So at 90 seconds, down 1. He probably definitely wants these hourglasses. He's going to need that ghost walk again. And like I said, he's just one good ambush away from really tying this thing up.
Pit still trying to take another close-up fight here. Once again, finds himself on the losing end of it initially, but returns some great damage on the rail just as he reappeared. He's looking for another one too as his opponent peeks. Good thing that he dodged it, and there you go. There's another shot. He doesn't have to dead just yet because of the full armor pickup that astroboy was able to get for himself. At the very least, Pit now is able to move in, steals the mega health. He's got that, and he can continue this fight. He thinks he has a load up. Another rail from Pit connecting here too. He's got astroboy on the run now. He's just got to take him down so that he can tie this up into a 1v1.
Oh my goodness, this is just, wow. Some clutch rails from Pit. It looks like Astroboy tried to fake him with the dire orb, but I think at the end there he wished he took the dire orb. Wow, great aggression from Pit. Tie game right now, 30 seconds to go. Woo. Oh,
and there we go. Pit with a great recovery was all the way down into a 1v3, managed to bring it back down, prevented ending the round via the timer there, and then in the final 1v1, a little bit anticlimactic, of course, just wins out versus him with a straight up LG spam. So
good turnaround by Pit. You know, you gotta. I love to give players credit for when they're down like that. You know, especially in a game like this where, you know, you only get those 3 frags. So when you're down to your final death, that's a lot of pressure, and for him to come back like that, and you know, good job by Pit. He's showing a lot of promise here today.
astroboy hiding down below here was able to get a little bit of damage going himself due to the early rail pickup there. Tagged once in a Pit. Unfortunately, doesn't mean much at the end of the day. Pit's on that clutch again, so he has a whole lot of health that he can melt away from himself without having to worry too much about it.
Yeah, just being careful. He wants the rocket launcher, but he doesn't want to take damage for it. We've seen it many times. One of the big things about clutch is you want that rocket launcher so you can pop the shield and get in somebody's face.
For astroboy specifically, he is going to be Forced to fall back a little bit due to the aggression coming in for Pit now. He's returning this damage, and he's got Pit relatively low, but he just got those 2 health bubbles right there as well. So Pit's still going to be back in a much better position than his opponent. The missed rail shot might seal the deal for him, but no, Pit just unable to return this damage for some reason. So astroboy's going to survive with only, well, now 50 HP, but before he only had 29.
Yeah, it didn't have a railgun right there, so I think he's, oh yeah, he's gonna, oh, he missed it. I'm surprised he didn't go back for it. Because he could really use one right now.
And astroboy himself is just controlling all these power-ups, so he's actually got good health to take this next engagement with, trying to trace down his opponent here, off of the LG. It's a quick switch attempt back over to the rail, but that one missed, went right into the shield. So Pit was able to survive it. Both players in this situation are just gonna back away, as neither one really came out in a winning stance there to try and chase down the first kill. Continue to be played slowly here. astroboy definitely looking for an engagement if he can get one, as he still controls both of the power-up pickups. Pit chose not to sit inside of the top room to look for the whole armor. Instead, he's just running around the map there, making sure that he gets his stack built up well enough to take the next fight. Yeah,
Pit just trying to get that basic, you know, it takes a little while with these tank champions, so. But as usual, I mean, with the Nyx, I mean, just get in good position. She can't take much, man. You get in there with that shield and rocket launcher.
Next rail could win this first initial 1v1 here. They stuck to it. Looks like astroboy is going to choose to fade away, gets himself onto the armor there, be able to recover that. And the health is still relatively well split, so that's not coming up for another 10 seconds or so. Pit is continuing to just run around the map here, looking for his opponent, but just cannot lock him down. Now maybe the final opportunity, though. At the very least, he should be able to go in and steal the health if he has good tracking on the timing, but no, out into the open again. Not choosing to chase it down, so his opponent does have the ability to go down and take control of that mega health for free if they want.
Yeah, Pit really trying to get his, you know, base armor stack back up, so he's focusing on the lights. Oh, it looks like he might steal that there. That's a big steal for him.
It's a big steal, and he's got the shield back up too, so he's going to be able to easily recover health since the armor's eating most of this damage up right now. But it's still not enough to get him to commit to the fight versus astroboy.
Just being careful. We've seen it many times. You don't want to get too careless with tanks in open areas, get caught with a nice LG stream or something and really make a mess of you. So he's being careful. He wants at least his 100, 150, it looks like, or 125, whatever. But he's in a much better position now to force an engagement.
Stepping down to recover a little bit of his rail ammo there too. He's kind of getting low. So he knows astroboy's up there, knows he just got the armor pickup. Nice little fadeaway rail shot. Unfortunately, can't steal the health as it's still very well split up in terms of the timing of it.
This is good work. And, you know, this is kind of an illustration of taking, you know, a very patient tack. Look, now astroboy's on the run. Look at their stacks. I mean, he slowly rebuilt up.
He's going to steal this health. 38. There we go. He's going to jump down. He's going to prevent astroboy from going in to pick up the health. He's got to be a little bit careful. He's brought down to 37 HP. Was trying to do work with the shotgun range, but just couldn't get it done. So that's a big mistake from Pit, as that should have been an easy kill for him, but didn't end up working out. And astroboy is the one that gets it. Now, Pit only has a minute to trade that frag back. Yeah,
I think he thought he was a little lower than he really was. I mean, he was pretty low, but I mean, he had the shield up. I'm surprised he just didn't walk right up him with a rocket or something, or force him through that teleporter a little bit. I'm not quite sure what happened with Pit there.
It was weird the way they ended up playing it out. Now astroboy's going to dive back in, getting a lot of LG damage done at the beginning of this fight. I don't even know if Pit's going to want to try to pursue that downstairs now. He might just sit back and wait this one out a little bit. astroboy, he's ready to take that fight. If he wants to oblige on him and take it, and there you go. astroboy now with a second pickup.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, Pit's forced to kind of move in right now and take an engagement he necessarily didn't want. So, I mean, this looks like we're going to go to round 4 here.
astroboy just closing out right there, gets the third and final kill. And there you have it, 2-1. Still remains in the control of Pit. But now astroboy is going to attempt to complete the reverse sweep.
Yeah, we've seen it many times in Duel. You know, an error here or there, quick frag, and things turn really quickly in Quake Duel. So yeah, Pit's overall been, you know, getting the better of it. Obviously, he's up 2-1, but he needs to close the show right here.
And so for Pit, he's just going to leave right into combat this time, too. Beautiful rail shots. He's using the dodge as well that he can do on the clutch. His opponent just barely stealthing away. But look, he's got perfect tracking on it, and there you go. The rocket to finish it off as he takes down astroboy's first champion within only the first 25 seconds of the round.
Yeah, quick kill. Got a couple, you know, nice rails in there and just pushed in with the shield and rocket. Nothing astroboy can do. I mean, he even tried to run, but I mean, you can see the ghost wire.
Perfectly played from Pit. He's exactly that one's playing out. Great response from astroboy, though. Almost took down Pit. He survived that with just 5 HP. Covered a little bit of it now. Had to wait for his opponent to run away before he could really move in and try to take the rest of these health globes in the room, though. And he's even using the blood pool to get some of that health back, too. So just using the environment to his advantage here. Still has to run around and look for more armor pickups. He's kind of low in that regard. But the power-ups are coming in about 10 seconds, so he should have that opportunity.
His armor stacks, you know, half as normal. If he gets this mega health, he'd be in pretty good shape here.
His speed leaps right across it. He is going to give away the armor, but he's got that extra health, and that's really what I think he wanted to stop astroboy from picking up, as that's what would give astroboy a pretty big advantage over him. He can get quite a decent stack of armor just on his own natural amount, so I don't think he was too worried about the full armor kit pickup.
Yeah, Pit just, again, just, you know, get that stack up. Oh, man, nice. Nice little rail there from astroboy. But, again, you know, with the clutch, you always got to be worried with the clutch running around if you're astroboy. Just anytime, wrong situation.
Oh, nice.
Just shield up just like this. It's good steal, though. Good steal.
Pit just nonchalantly walking up to the top as well, just his opponent was about to die orbit, and then he even puts the shield in front of him too, so that astroboy can't really retaliate too much to the fact that he went and stole that from him. So very well played from Pit. He did lose most of the armor almost instantly from the play, but at the very least he keeps it out of the hands of astroboy. And continues to waste time too, since he has that advantage. Yeah,
definitely time on his side. Still plenty of time to go, though. He doesn't want to get too... You know, he's got to be thinking about getting back control so he can be, you know, run out the clock easy. It's much better to run out the clock when you're in control and they're on the defensive and they have to push into you with a full stack. So he's got to be really careful right now. 150 is not much when you're on a clutch, let me tell you.
Just over the halfway point on the timer for the round. And Pit continues to hold the +1 advantage over his opponent, astroboy, hailing from Australia. Pit missed it completely, so astroboy's actually just going to be able to walk right into the room. The dire report right up into Pit's face too, but the shield is enough to push astroboy back, and Pit's going to take a huge risk here by going for that armor pickup, and in fact it is going to seal the deal, allowing for astroboy to finally get that trade.
Yeah, putting yourself on the open with clutch, Sorlag, all the scale bearer, they really are lightning gun bait, and yeah, a little miscalculation there. I think he just wanted to get that armor a little too much.
So now it's gone down even again. And this turns into a Ranger v Ranger fight, potentially to decide who can take a big enough advantage to win this round, and in Pit's case, win the map too. So right now, both just trying to get their stacks going. Fortunately for astroboy, again, though, Pit is still playing extremely passive, so he was sitting back over towards the armor room, and he just let astroboy walk up, taking not only the armor, but the mega health too.
Yeah, I think astroboy, I'd like to see the stats in regards to item pickups right now. I think Pit's kind of been losing a little bit control of the item management a bit.
Definitely. Pit now looking for a situation where he can engage, but he's going to walk right into a bad spot again. And oh, the turnaround at the last second from Pit with a super clutch dire orb. He was able to bring that back and restore his own advantage now to take control of that duel, bring his opponent down to just one champion remaining.
I can't believe we just saw that happen. I mean, astroboy really had him dead to rights with that ambush, and then just amazing, seriously. Just to turn around and throw the dire orb at him like that and get the kill is wow.
There we go.
What a turnaround. I mean, seriously.
He's going to be able to complete it too. It always seems like the third kill is the easiest to get there after we see some clutch second kill come out there. Just breaks the opponent's will, and we see that again there as his opponent there. He is going to be able to Pit. This is going to be able to take control of the first map in this series, going up 3-1.
Yeah, nice job by Pit. A couple scary moments there for him. You know, astroboy, honestly, I thought was reading him a little bit there sometimes. 25 mega health pickups to 7 for Pit. 19 heavy armors to 14 for Pit. Kind of what we're talking about. It seemed like he's lost a little bit of control of item management there, but superior combat skills, maybe using that latency a little bit to his advantage, and you know, got the win there. So, and again, the clutch dire orb. Talk about a highlight reel, you know, 180 dire orb. Come on.
Perfectly played, and the worst part is he's at a huge disadvantage for that entire fight too. He's sitting in the corner, crouched, so for astroboy, he walks up to that fight, oh, this is easy for me. He thinks he has that one, and it looks like it's going to be the case, but the very last second, that active ability, the dire orb coming in from Pit, saves the day, and then he has no problem getting the third kill after that one.
That's one of those things I'd like to see, the facial reaction of astroboy right when that's happening, right? Because like you said, he had him dead to rights. Oh, look, this guy's just sitting here with his back turned to me. I'm going to hit him with a rocket, and you're like, ah, he's so messed up right now. Then, oh, nope, I'm dead. Like, what happened? Oh, he dire orbed me.
So nicely done from Pitt. He's going to take quick control of that first map. We saw a little bit of light from his opponent there towards the middle of that map, but unfortunately did drop the majority of the round, so he is going to be losing that first map. He's got potentially 1 or 2 maps left, of course, if he can take this second one and try and bring this set back in control of himself and earn an Australian slot at QuakeCon, but he is going to have to take down Pitt in order to do that. And Pitt is ready to fight, and as we saw, he was in a dominant stance for a lot of that first map there, so it's going to be tough for astroboy to bring it back, especially with him still dealing with the ping and everything like that too.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, playing with high latency in Quake is very difficult, especially when you're playing top-notch opponents like this who can give you, you know, just as good as you're going to get. So I would imagine Pitt, you know, you could see some of those scenarios where, yeah, he was kind of pushing some, feeling like he was going to win the combat. And but you got to give astroboy credit. Again, Pitt needs to be a little concerned. If I was Pitt, even though he got the win there, I'd be a little concerned about the item management, giving up so many heavy armors, so many mega healths. You know, you don't want to give somebody that big of an advantage with stack. I don't care how great your aim is. So you need to be a little careful here going to the next map.
Well, hopefully that's going to be a little bit easier because the next map is going to be over on Blood Covenant, so things split up a lot more. You don't have the 2 power-ups basically right next to each other, just on different levels. They're going to be on opposite sides of the map, so hopefully Pitt has a little bit easier time of controlling. Specifically the armor, I think, is where he lost most of the pickups there, was still able to remain somewhat competitive with the mega health, but when it came to the armor, that's where he really fell behind a lot of the time.
Yeah, again, you want to work with a good stack. But, you know, to his credit, though, even though astroboy had control for a lot of times, Pitt really didn't reveal himself too much. You know, we saw him kind of hanging around those back areas, picking up the health, slowly rebuilding his stack, especially on clutch, and lasting a long time. And so you got to give him credit for that, that although his opponent had control, he wasn't making it exactly easy for his opponent to get the frag with control.
So yeah, it is time for that second map, folks. As you can see, it is still warm up, so call that. We didn't just miss the first kill there. We got about 20 seconds until we actually start the real map itself, and we get to see if astroboy is going to be able to strike back here, as I believe that first map was astroboy's pick. So this is now Pitt's pick for the second map here, going over to Blood Covenant now. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to keep it consistent and win his own map pick, or if his opponent, astroboy, is going to strike back and take it away from him.
Yeah, always a little confidence builder if you can beat somebody on the map they picked. Just my opinion. You know, back in the day, we used to have a kind of similar system people pick. And yeah, if you beat somebody on their map, oh yeah, that makes you feel good going to the next one.
Yeah. So let's jump into the game, of course, and take a look here now at the fighting between Pitt and astroboy. Astroboy looking to hold on here, as Pitt is actually going to end up jumping into combat right at the start of this engagement, trying to roll away. Managed to get himself that armor pickup, and now the problem is, though, is he's going to find himself at the bottom of the pillar roof, trying to hold on there. astroboy still trying to strike at it as well from up on top, but he can't lock down Pitt. Pitt's still in a good position to be able to hold back and run away from this one. Of course, because we do apologize for the technical issues. We're working on that as quickly as we can to fix that and get us back into the game.
Out of this place.
A quick frag for astroboy, a little.
Well, now, as the action continues, we'll see Pitt once again leaping into the fray against astroboy here. Pitt still trying to hold on, but there's great LG chase coming in from astroboy, and with that, he is going to be able to take him down. So the trade comes in. astroboy taking out Pitt, and now Pitt down 0-2 at the beginning of this round.
Wow, astroboy coming out the gate firing. I mean, I'm really impressed, you know, even though dealing with that latency, man, his lightning gun is it's not too bad, man. I mean, considering he's probably playing with about 180 ping or so right now, you got to give him a lot of credit for being able to line up the lightning gun like he does.
astroboy still looking to hold on to his situation here now. He's got the lead. He's got a 1v3 to play off of here now if he can win this out properly. It's only about just knocking out that last champion that Pitt has. And Nyx Phoenix a mirror matchup too as well. So this is going to be one of his best chances to do it. He just has to be really careful not to get engaged upon and also not to get sniper railed out like that we've been seeing a lot of today. Especially on this map too. There's been a lot of very good players that have been able to just sneak in, get these really small peaks and just sneak off the damage then run away.
Yeah, this is definitely a map, as we mentioned, you can play your side of the map if you really want to and play passive. But there's still a lot of time left. It's over. Watch out for that bounce up. But yeah, there's a decent amount of time left. Pitt just needs to get a frag here and get himself within one.
And astroboy still looking for that chance to do it here. As you can see Pitt fighting it out. Continuing to look for what he needs to take out astroboy's self-power. Should be spawning up soon here too. As his opponent was just able to pick that up, and that is going to be Pitt going in, getting himself the mega armor, but oh, getting tagged again now. Down very low at this point. He's losing a lot of his armor. He's trying to look out for where Astro Boy would jump in and engage on him from, but stuck back over here inside of the rocket room right now, or the shotgun room, excuse me.
Yeah, time's starting to get a little short here. I mean, if you're Pitt, you definitely want to at least get within one with about 4 minutes.
Yeah, we're at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah,
so he's got about a minute each to get these kills now.
I mean, you can conceivably get it done with less time than that, but you're up against it then. I mean, at least a minute, and even then it's going to be rough. Nice
rail connection there, getting him as he does fall away. And now, oh, beautiful lockdown as well. Perfect transition from the lower portion of the map to go in, prevent him from escaping. So he takes on the Knicks, that's the first mark. But now he's got to go up against these slightly tankier champions as well. Not too much, but overall, they are still going to be able to take a bit more of a fight than this Knicks can if he's not careful.
Yeah, nice little momentum shift. I'm sure Astro Boy was thinking about trying to protect that 2-0 lead right now. So I'm sure he's, you know, mentally thinking he can't just hang back. There's still plenty of time here, so he's not in a safe spot.
And this just gives us a nice chance, too, to see the perspective of just the individual players here as well, as now you can see what the players are looking at. There's no more of those timers at the top left. They have to keep track of that all on their own here. And oh, the fight's actually going to get really close up, but the stealth may work out. However, the rocket shot, if it was just a millisecond later, it would have done massive damage. It doesn't seem to matter, though, as Pitt holds on, now getting a second kill, turning this round back on its heels. He's completed the comeback, and now this is going to be a 1v1 to decide the round.
And getting away with 6 health. Man, it's just amazing. It's simply amazing.
So now Pitt, he's on the run a little bit here as Astro Boy's continuing to chase it down. He's hitting some nice rail shots here. A great comeback story. Pitt can complete it, but he's got to be careful. Pops into the stealth. He's staying out in the open, though. That's a big risk he's taken. As Astro Boy could quickly swing around, knock him out, and end the round right there and there. And now we're going to see it. The Anarchy tries to dive back in. He's taking a lot of health. We don't know exactly how low he is, but it's enough for Pitt to complete the reverse sweep there. Was down 1v3, but he managed to bring it back, and he'll take round number 1.
Yeah, great rockets, you know, keeping Astro Boy off of him there. Astro Boy recognized Pitt was low, was trying to get in there and get that frag, but, you know, Pitt was having none of it. He had some good defensive rockets there, and he ran Astro Boy right into one.
Yeah, so Pitt, like I said, great control. Have to start that off with the Knicks v Knicks battle. He played it super cautiously. Great usage of the stealth as well to be able to complete that reversal. And now off of that, he's managed to take round 1. Just 2 more to go, and he's going to be heading to QuakeCon.
Yeah, big turnaround. That's really big, I think, for Pitt. You know, 'cause Astro Boy kind of needed to change the momentum around. It seemed like things were going in his favor, and Pitt turned that right around. You know, so it really took the wind out of Astro Boy's sails, I think, right there.
He's going to try to move back. I'm looking for an initiating rail shot. Looks like he's trying to get aggressive on it, too. He has kind of lost the position of his opponent. Gets it again. And now looking for the read onto it. He's got to be careful, though. And this is what I was talking about before. Now that we're looking at the actual player's perspective. Is, of course, without the X-ray, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty here about where exactly your opponent is playing from. And you have to time those power-ups on your own. Watch out for spawns on your own, too. You don't have the UI to assist you anymore when you're playing here.
That's right, and that's one of the best things about Quake, I think, is that mental aspect, timing these things, reading your opponent. There's a science to it. There really is, and one of the things it's something you can't read out of a book. You know, any experienced player, Rafa could sit here and coach anybody directly and give them the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. But in the end, it's up to you to go down and play and apply it. And only the player can do that.
All right, well, there we go, folks. We are finally back in game now. So, Astro Boy hitting some nice rail shots, actually, against Pitt, and it's put him down quite low. Just over 25 HP, recovers some of the HP now. It was a little bit early to try and push over towards where the armor spawns, though. There was still a good, 15 seconds until it was about to come up. So we did try to push into that a little bit too early there, and now Astro Boy's going to look to take advantage upon this, though. They did the earlier damage. Unfortunately, that clutch is so fast, and you can see how quickly Pitt was able to escape that situation and run away.
Yeah, they clutch. Oh my gosh, a little latency there.
Yeah.
I missed what happened there.
So Astro Boy got the kill on Pitt.
Yeah. It looks like he followed. Looks like he followed him to heavy armor there. Yeah.
So, as we do jump back into the next fight, we should clarify as well that that issue did not affect the players. That was only an issue for our spectators. So that did not affect the actual game right there, what you guys just saw.
We just got to miss the cool stuff. That's all.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good pursuit, obviously.
It keeps you guessing. It keeps you on your toes.
Well, I was wondering if he was really going to pursue there because it wasn't exactly the safest pursuit, and he went for it and obviously got the frag there. So kudos to Astro Boy.
Well, now Pitt's going to continue to chase down this kill. It's way too aggressive, though. And astroboy is able to easily just hold that back off by using his rails. Or excuse me, not his rails, using his LG there just to completely push back Pitt, put him into the actual pit inside of that blue room there, and take him out pretty easily. So once again, Pitt's been put down onto his Nyx again, and he did it once. He's going to have to do it again, and there's the first kill. Where is this coming from? It seems like he can only do this work on the Nyx.
Yeah, I know. Maybe you might just want to pick this champion right off the bat here, because it's definitely causing astroboy problems. We saw it in the last round when he came back. I mean, he just couldn't seem to get anything going when Pitt went to Nyx. So we'll see what happens here. This is going to be very interesting if Pitt gets the tying frag.
He's got him low now, though. And the Nyx only at 25 HP. He's got to be very careful. He's been spotted again coming outside of the stealth. So they know that the Nyx is sitting down here inside of the pillar pit somewhere. Just going to try to lock it down. astroboy looks like he was going to dive in for a second. That's what you don't want to do in this situation. That's how you lost the duels last time. So he's smart. He stays up on top where he has the high ground. And now leaping into this next fight, this is some great LG damage being done over here now by Pitt, and he completes the second kill.
Wow. I mean, seriously, that's just good. One good LG stream. It really forced astroboy to change his mind there and dire orb back up, and then he tried to get a peek shot there, but Pitt all over it with the lightning gun and just finished him off.
Well, now the Nyx is getting some good damage in there too, bringing astroboy down low. In fact, he's just under 50 HP. They're recovering some of it, but it's a bit of a race to get over here towards the armor spawn. Pitt's going to want to try to punish it. He could take him out right here and complete the reverse sweep again, as he did back in round number 1 here, but astroboy knows that that's a possibility, so he backs up. He's going to give respect to Pitt here finally and let him pick up the armor. Yeah,
but Pitt's in a good spot. Ghostwalk is up. He's got a good stack. I mean, he's probably just looking for one good ambush here to close this round out. I mean, Anarchy, not exactly, you know, a tanky champion either, so he's not going to have any advantage of stack in terms of astroboy. So the ambush factor is going to be huge here.
Ooh, and he just misses that rail shot too. Barely hitting a connection against Pitt. astroboy still sitting down below. Nicely done, as he's actually able to dodge quite a few of these rail shots. Was hit by one on the escape, though, but it was just as he was leaving. And Mega Health Spawn is coming up in a second, too. But, oh, just before he gets it, the shot comes in. He doesn't read into it right now, but he gets out of the room before. The Nyx is able to reappear. And that's dangerous here now for Pitt, as he has walked into the arena, and he's not ready to take this fight. But no! A last-second rocket, and Pitt does it again!
Wow, just amazing, man. This guy seems to wake up when he's down 2-0, and a nice fall-away rocket there. Geez, just... woo, clutch, man. Clutch play from Pitt to come back like that. And you got to say this kid might have a little bit of ice water in his veins, you know? We're going to have to watch this guy.
That's the second 1v3 in a row from Pitt. And now we go into what could be the final round. These are 2 rounds in a row that astroboy should have easily had under his belt. Now it's not going to be the case anymore, and they're all for Pitt. So if he can win one more, he's going to QuakeCon. And what a way to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure he's... You know, right now, you can't think about QuakeCon if you're Pitt. You know, you got to think about getting this next round. I know it's hard to do because I'm sure he's getting a little excited right now, but he's got to keep that under wraps and make sure he finishes this guy off.
astroboy is going to find himself cornered a little bit here at the start. You can see him getting hit by extra damage from the rockets. Almost hit by the rail there, too. He is able to back up, getting a full 100 damage. That's another 80 getting stacked on top of that. So deals nearly 200 damage in just a few seconds. That knocks out pretty much all of Pitt's armor pool. So he is going to have to fall back, disengage from the fight, and look to recover some more of that armor before he can go back in.
Very interesting here. Still starting with the clutch. I was hoping maybe he'd go with Nyx right away. Maybe he just doesn't like the Nyx versus Nyx matchup. He prefer gold clutch. Yeah. I'd be curious to know, like, if there's some strategy involved with it on his end.
Well, astroboy jumping back in. There's another 100 damage rocket, I believe, coming out from him. Keeping Pitt's HP relatively low, but Pitt getting the full armor pickup here now, and astroboy, like what he's doing, he's going to delay, taking a little bit of a risk. It pays off, though, because Pitt did not really try to chase down that health at all, so he was able to successfully split the timers, only by about 5 or so seconds, granted, so it's not a huge split just yet. But it's getting it there, and he can do that again when the next spawn comes back up.
Yeah, I think he thought the heavy armor's probably picked up a little sooner. Otherwise, I bet he would have probably waited a few more seconds, but still trying to delay, like you said, to be able so he can run between the 2 items on the map.
Pitt is going to be looking for control over the Mega Health room. Some of the others. The problem is astroboy jumps in and gets a great engagement on with the LG, so massive damage being done there by astroboy, keeping Pitt reserved, keeping him relatively low, and he still has about 15 seconds until the armor itself comes back up. So there is plenty of time now for astroboy to route over to this side of the map and actually now take a challenge against Pitt for that armor.
Yeah, he's definitely going to hear him above right now. He knows he's there. He's going to wait for a drop. Oh, nice.
20 HP remaining for Pitt, so he does have to give up there too.
That was a nice little combo from astroboy dropping down. I don't even think Pitt realized, you know, that those shots came in like that.
Pitt had to go back up there just to check and make sure that his opponent did actually fully steal out the armor. So he's lost that. Now both of the powers go into the control of astroboy. He's just got the health again too. He's got a big advantage to play off of. Nice little sneaky rail shot that he hits off there too, I believe. So doing even more damage, knocking out more of the armor. Just making it a rough life for Pitt right now as he's trying to come back from this one, but he just can't figure out how to actually lock down astroboy. He's just constantly on the run from him right now.
Yeah, I think, you know, especially with the tankier classes like this, you got to be really careful because it's hard to build back up. So, and from astroboy's perspective, you want to keep picking at the, you know, the tanky champion like Clutch. You don't want to let Clutch get fully stacked because it could present a problem, serious problem. Because even if you line him up with some damage, he's just so stacked. I mean, he can just take it and make sure he lands shots of his own.
So astroboy again, just gonna run the gauntlet here now, gets the armor, he got the health about 15 seconds ago, so he's got the split that he wants, he's got full control over the map, he pretty much has Pitt back into a corner too. Just has to lock down those final few shots that are needed. Like that one, there's a great start, and as well, knocks out his opponent through the shield, taking him down and knocking out that clutch.
Yeah, in case people were wondering what happened there, he had a shield up and he went to shoot that rocket launcher, shield dropped, and he happened to shoot a rail at the same time, and that's a wrap. So good timing by astroboy to read that he was probably going to try to sneak in a little damage there with the shield, and just, yeah.
Another shot connecting from astroboy this time around, hitting out Pitt, taking him down lower, and he's having trouble hitting any of these follow-up shots, so astroboy does actually have to bail out of the fight, letting Pitt have the ground for the time being. And this actually could allow for now Pitt to move back in. The dire orb actually misses, but okay. The rail shot coming out from his opponent also misses too. He's able to recover from that one though. And astroboy, some nice shots, but Pitt with the greedy repeak moves back in and is able to complete the trade against astroboy. He's got to run to pick up health quickly though, as he's still very low.
Yeah, I'm sure astroboy is just looking to machine gun him anywhere right now.
Don't think he's going to get the chance though. He was found over the other side of the map picking up armor.
Some nice railing from astroboy, but you know, Pitt landed the one there that he needed to get that kill.
Now Pitt holding on right now, trying to go for these range shots on the rails again. No luck just yet. There's another connection.
Oh, he's
and
got
his
him on the rope.
opponent is missing him as well, so he's still at a great amount of HP. He can easily dive in and take a fight if he wants to. But I think he's going to be happy with just power up control right now, as now he knows he's going to have the armor spawn going for himself too. Yeah,
this is smart. You know, you're moving to sudden death right now, so yeah, make sure you secure the armor. Definitely want to secure this mega health, and then go on the hunt. Go on the hunt and try to end it.
Yeah, we're just hoping astroboy would try to move in and get greedy and look for that one. He's going to find him up on top. Both of them trade blows, but again, this is going to favor Pitt, as he does have all the extra health and armor. And didn't realize, however, that astroboy would try to drop back down and rail it from the other side. And, oh, this is again, but Pitt also connecting one shot. Both are one-shottable via rails or rockets even at this point if they can hit them head-on enough. Pitt has slightly more HP, but both are going to be choosing to back away. Pitt going to be really safe here using the dire orb just to port back over there and be able to get himself the armor pickup. So he's got that going, and now he's going to try to head over here and grab the mega health too, which I think he's going to get it. Astroboy.
There's good separation. Smart to use the dire orb. Better safe than sorry, and then just hurry back. He's got astroboy on the run right now.
And astroboy being forced downstairs into the depths. Good run away, just get these smaller armor pickups are really all he's going to be able to do right now. And again, you have the mega armor coming up in just a second here, so Pitt's already back up on the bridge, looking to make sure that he maintains control over that one. Rails connecting. He's going to hit heavily by rockets, though, so he's got to be a little bit more careful, especially if these small peaks come back in from astroboy. There you go. There's one right there, hitting some great damage on the rails over on the Pitt. He still can eat that back up as he's at max HP, and with the rocket ammo that he's got in excess here, he's able to cordon off this little choke point and make sure that he goes and gets the mega health again, too.
Yeah, he's got firm control right now. He really is on the prowl trying to get this finish.
First Ranger to die is going to be the one that loses this round, and this would be an incredible map for Pitt. He could finally win it out in a non-1v3 fashion, as we have been seeing prior to this one. But astroboy sneaking in those little rail shots again, and it's going to be quite potent against Pitt here too, despite the armor pickup. Well, Pitt is now down extremely low. Dire orb coming back in, but it's not enough damage, so astroboy spins it around, and now he picks up his first round of the map.
Wow, really close. You know, they're giving us drama in every single round. You gotta give them that. I mean, it's either Pitt coming back down, you know, from 2-0, or now we got our sudden death in round 3. You know, but I still feel like, you know, I don't know what your feelings are, but I still feel like Pitt's gonna get this win. I really do. I think astroboy, while he's making some good plays,
well,
like that, I say that, and then he gets just totally destroyed by the nail gun.
They just walk into this nail gun spray real quick. So that's a big mistake. Maybe Pitt's just trying to get down to the 1v3 to start it off. He's like, well, couldn't win the round normally, so let's try this again.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole thing. He operates better under pressure like that, you know?
He's about to lose his second champion again here, too. It's kind of scavenging for health and whatnot. Gets that armor at the very least, so he's back to a pretty okay point, too. But still, he's got to be careful. So Nyx can be quite tricky if you're not paying attention.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got to watch out for that ghost walk, man. That's... I really believe that's a big thing with Nyx, is making her to use it defensively. You do not want her setting traps and ambushes with the ghost walk. You're not going to see it coming, man. It's not good.
There we go. There's astroboy taking another shot here on the rail, but unfortunately trades back onto him. Can't continuously eat those shots back up. In fact, he almost died trying to go for the armor there, too, at only 75 HP. But the missed opportunity from Pitt is now going to become a new one for astroboy, as he is going to dive in here, unfortunately, whiffing on his own rail shots. There's a nice cheeky one there. Gets a second one, too. Pitt's one-shotable now if astroboy wants to chase it down, but he's also been brought down low. Both players essentially could die to 1 or 2 hits from either the rockets or the rails. So they're both going to fall back and look to regroup a little bit here before the next fight.
I like that route astroboy just took right before the heavy armor, just to make sure he got a little armor so he wasn't railable, and then he can come back. Even though Pitt wasn't there, it was just a careful play to make sure he had, you know, decent stacked, and he got good position on bridge again to challenge that heavy armor. So even though no action, still, it was just intelligent.
For astroboy specifically, still choosing to hang around over here in the pillar room. Looking for Pitt and making sure that he has the high ground when he does take the next advantage. There you go, catches him going on the jump pad. A little bit more damage escape for free. In a moment, he's gonna have to go and grab the extra rail pickup there, but it's right next to him, so it's not too big of a problem. But oh, he actually bypasses it, so only has that 1 rail shot left still. He will need to run over in a moment and grab some ammo for it.
I don't think he realizes that.
No, he's realizing it now.
Yeah. No, he's zoomed in again.
No, I don't think he realized.
No,
he's trying to.
Yeah,
I think that's like instinct right there,
Yeah.
but still. He was able to get the kill at the very least, so just went over too quickly to the LG to make sure he finishes off with that one. Now, well, Pitt, let's see if he can do this for a 3rd time.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, this is getting interesting here. Astroboy keeps coming off the impressive starts. Let's see if he can get the finish this time.
Astroboy brought down low. Pitt can chase it. He's got all the health advantage here, too. Unfortunately, he's only got a shotgun, so the range is not really going to play into his favor. Good rocket damage being done. Astroboy trying to juke him to the best of his abilities. Now he finally pops the stealth. I was wondering when we'd see that from Astroboy. And that should be enough to convince Pitt to back up here. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have the option to back up because he's stuck over here on the top. But Astroboy looking for the last shots needed. He did see the stealth just pop back off, so he's going to be on the run here. Once again, Pitt closes the gap. Tries to get the kill, but he's going to be a little bit too far off in the range department.
Yeah, Pitt's just trying to push the issue a little bit. Knows he needs to get a frag back, definitely in the next 30 seconds. You know, try to make that comeback possible. But you know, Astroboy definitely not making it easy. Landing some good rockets too.
Astroboy continuing to sit back here now. Breath on very low, 14 HP on the run. Now 8 at range, and there we go. Finally, Pitt gets that kill. Took him a while.
Yeah, good job. Good job to follow and get the kill there. I'm sure now, I would imagine it's funny in those situations, you know, the shotgun is actually really good as a starting weapon. But in that situation, he's probably like, dang, I wish I had a machine gun.
Well, he's got a minute left now to get that 2nd kill. Bring it down to sudden death again. So let's see if he can accomplish that. Pitt, he's ready to go. He's got everything he needs, essentially, here. He doesn't really have any of the mega health pickups or anything like that, but Astroboy shouldn't have those either.
I definitely want to see if he can pull this off again for... I mean, that's pretty amazing. I mean, if you win your map for the map, and especially coming back from 2-0 each time you won, it's pretty impressive.
I think Astroboy's figured out how to play this, though, and look at this. He's just running away, essentially. Unfortunately, he's eating a lot of rails in the process, so it's not going to stop it from happening as Pitt gets the 2nd kill again. If this happens for a 3rd time, I don't even know what to say at that point, as that was some beautiful work for Pitt, and Astroboy was just biting into it and just continued to let him hit these rail shots. It was like 4 in a row.
Oh, I don't know if he was letting him hit those rail shots. I mean, Pitt was really putting in some work there. I mean, seriously, this kid, well, I call him a kid because I'm a little bit older than him, but this young man is doing a heck of a job here to come back from the brink of defeat in several of these rounds to even just to push it to sudden death like this. Again, I'm just really impressed with his composure.
Well, let's see. 1 more kill to go. Once again, it goes up against Astroboy's Anarchy. So he's now going to take the low ground, trying to establish a little bit more of a power-up advantage here, too. Unfortunately, he has the timing till he's wrong. He's still about 10 seconds off from the armor spawn currently, so he's going to have to wrap back around and wait this out a little bit more before he can get that pickup. And in that time, well, astroboy's actually going to have a really, he's going to have plenty of extra time to run around and just steal that himself. But I think this works, though, because Pit was trying to bait astroboy into going for them so that he could immediately take the damage off. But now he's not ready to take this fight. This is the problem. He's going to find escape. He cannot take this duel right now. Thankfully, astroboy misread the situation, but they're going to find themselves another fight. However, almost from Pit, but the fight is too close range, so he is not able to win it out, and his opponent ties it up at 2-2.
Yeah, a little bit of kind of going to some little bit of Quake tactics here. The lightning gun, shotgun armor down there that you see people going for, it's a very dangerous spot to jump to, especially when you're low. You know, he's jumping through mid, down towards that area, and already you can see astroboy is kind of looking in that area to try to get that final blow on him. And yeah, just a little dangerous. You gotta be careful going down to that armor. It's a hot ambush spot.
Pit's trying to stagger early on here, but he misses all these rocket shots, and now he's trying to play close range with the shield and his advantage. Good spot there towards the end of the shield duration, actually, to see that astroboy was actually still sitting behind him, but he's still in the hot seat. The LG work is being great from astroboy right now. And he's got Pit down at 50 HP. Can't go for the jump pad to try and steal the mega health. And there you go. Astroboy will get the first kill again.
Astroboy just recognizing that, hey, Clutch is just, you know, he's lightning gun bait. And he just keeps putting it on him. He's 200 ping, 880 ping, whatever. It doesn't matter. The hitbox is the size of a house. And he's making him pay when he's on Clutch. I mean, every round, I think he's gotten Pit off Clutch relatively quickly.
I think there was one round maybe where Pit got the first kill.
Yeah. But overall, Clutch as his first pick just hasn't been working very well for him in this match.
No, it's all been on the Knicks. I think it's like 90% of his kills have been from the third and final champion that he's chosen.
So this is big now. Now the pressure's got to be getting a little bit to Pit, thinking, you know, this guy's back in the match. You don't want to, if you're Pit, you're thinking you don't want to go to a third map with this guy.
No, that's just going to frustrate him, to be honest. He has to go all the way to that third and final map. So he is going to be sitting back here now. Nice rail shot connecting, but he's also getting hit by some rockets here, so he's got to be a little bit more careful. Astroboy was able to escape, so he's going to dive away from this fight, and he'll be good to recover.
At both items up at the same time, nobody's going to really get firm control over everything. But again, just Pit just needs, I mean, it's plenty of time. He just needs to get that tie and kill. Or maybe he should just give up this frag and go straight to the Knicks. I don't know.
Well, for Pit, he's still looking for some shots to connect back over onto Astroboy, but his rail work has unfortunately fallen off in these recent times, and now Astroboy's going to be able to move in, and, well, here you go again, Pit.
Right back where we started.
You've won the 1v3 2 times. You brought it down to a 1v1 another time after starting at a 1v3. So now, can you win the 1v3 again? As if not, you're dropping this map and you got to go to a third and final one, and we're going to see Ruins, I think, for the first time today.
We did, actually, correction, we did see it once earlier. Sane picked that map against Dang.
Okay.
But yeah, not a common pick today.
No. Everyone's been avoiding it here. No, Astroboy, he's going to find himself in a peculiar spot. He knows where Pit's hiding at, though, so nicely done. Reads into it, counters it out. Great rocket spam against Pit. That's going to keep him held back for a little bit longer. But actually, no, as I say that, Pit just leaps into combat, but gives himself away. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's Astroboy taking our second map, and he's going to tie us up at 1-1.
Wow, just wow. I think if, you know, if you're Astroboy, you're thinking, whew, way to force the third map. It was really close on him. And then Pit, you're thinking that's the one that got away. He really could have closed it. I think he had Astroboy on the ropes there a few times, and I mean, what can you say? You got to give credit again to Astroboy too for really sticking with the ping thing. I mean, it's really hard to do, and he's making the most of it. But Pit's just got to make some adjustments, play a little smarter. I think as we saw, he got a little aggressive in some areas where maybe he didn't have a good stack, and it really cost him.
Absolutely. So that one closing out. We should be heading to our third map here pretty shortly, I believe. As I said before, Pit unfortunately dropping that second one, and we do end up in a tie. Yeah, apologies for the confusion there, folks. It is indeed tied, with Astroboy taking control of that second map. So we are going to head over to a third and final map here in just a second. As soon as we get the players loaded up in the lobby and everything, we should be good to hop right into that one. And like we said before, it is going to be on the Ruins of Sarnath. It is a map we have not seen played out a whole lot today. So it's going to be nice to get another peek at that one and see how things play out there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Pitt's going to stick with the clutch. I don't necessarily think the clutch has been working too great for him in either map, really. It just
nor the Ranger, really, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah, Rangers, you know, but to me, the big factor is because his clutch is so big, and you can just see Astro Boy really punishing him with the lightning gun in several instances. And it just makes me wonder that maybe he's not as effective with the clutch against this player, maybe against other players, but for whatever reason, Astro Boy's style is just not allowing him to really get in the groove with his clutch, and is taking it out of his game a little bit. Because you don't want to go down 1-0, 2-0, you know, all these rounds.
I think he may have found it necessary to use the clutch there too, just because of how split up the map tends to be, and having that extra, because clutch be very fast, as we saw there plenty of times too. So having that extra movement speed maybe helps him out a little bit with getting around the map if he didn't feel confident in his own movement. As you notice, he didn't go for like the Anarchy or the Soar like Pit, which gives you like that extra movement capability there too. So it seemed like he kind of went with the easier option over on the clutch.
Yeah, and maybe he's just going with, maybe that's just his pick. You know, he goes with these guys and he's going to run them all the way, and that's his favorite, you know, combination. And it is a versatile combination that he's running. Seriously, it really is. I mean, but sometimes I'm just wondering if Astro Boy's getting a little bit. It seems like Astro Boy's just all over that clutch. He's not getting a whole lot of momentum with him, and it's just putting himself into a hole in a lot of these rounds. And maybe he might just switch up the order maybe a little bit. You know, go with Ranger or Nyx right away, and then maybe switch to clutch and for a spawn, just in case to avoid a spawn frag. And I don't know. It's really tough to say, you know, because Astro Boy, again, you got to give credit to the player for putting the damage on Pitt. And especially with the high ping, it's hard to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see the maps here again that have already been played out. The first two. The first one, Astro Boy's pick on Bloodroom, was won quite easily, actually, by Pitt. It was on the second map where Pitt struggled really dramatically, but was somehow able to pull off a 1v3 2 times in a row in the first 2 rounds. Then dropped the next 3, however, and lost that map to his opponent, for Astro Boy here. So each player's lost their own map pick so far, and now we're going over to the third and final map, which is the one that both these players had agreed upon mutually. It's going to be over on the Ruins, and we'll see how well each player is able to face off there, as this seems to be a very underplayed map in general. So both these players may find themselves a little bit less familiar with it. And
just an exciting match, you know, that second map where we had 2 sudden deaths, you know, 2 come from behinds from 2-0. Yeah, it just really went to the wire in pretty much every round except one. I think Astro Boy kind of took Pitt out of his game a little bit, but very close matchup in all those rounds. I'm sure Pitt's thinking, again, I'm sure he's feeling like that one got away from him a little bit.
Yeah, so we'll have to hope he can shrug that off. He's still looking pretty okay about how to take on this third map here, so hopefully he's not worried about the results of that second map too much, and he should be good to jump back into this third and final map now, which is going to be starting in about 20 seconds, I think, is when the actual game should get started. Players just in warm-up now. Let's pop around for a couple seconds, and then we can get started with this match and get to see who's going to be moving on to QuakeCon. Are we going to have another representative here from North America, or is an Australian going to be able to steal that slot?
You know, I will say this, though. Doesn't Pitt look cool as a cucumber right now? I mean, he really does look like, you know, is he trying to qualify for a major event, or is he just playing a fun game online right now? It's hard to tell. I mean, he's really, you know, I've seen players get frustrated, and you see the nerves, and it just seems like he's really focused. And that's good.
All right, well, let's get to it. And we do see that clutch pick coming back in. In fact, I think it's the same exact champion rotation for Pitt that we saw in the last map, and that is indeed the case. We've got the Ranger and the Nyx still in play. Same for Astro Boy, as he won the last map, so we wouldn't really expect him to change that much unless it was a map-dependent pick. And Pitt is actually going to take the first bit of damage here in this map as well. Being pegged by the rails. Now he's going to try to take a close-up fight here. He's got the shield to work with, and there we go. There's a nice combo from Pitt, as he's going to be able to get the first kill. Yeah,
that's a good start. I think that's like the second round where you really got a good start with the clutch and got a kill like right away with the shield. So good way to start the map.
Pitt's still looking for his right to reinitiate here too against the new spawn from Astro Boy. He's over to the range now. There's the little clip off there with the rail shot. He's going to be able to connect onto a headshot there for Astro, and now nicely done. The timing on this push out through the portal is perfect.
Oh, wow.
With one little LG shot, he's able to finish off the second kill too.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like Pitt knew he was up at the super nail gun area. I mean, he was going through that portal hot, and it really just had the sense. I'd love to ask him if he knew he was up in that area, because it seemed like he was going in very aggressively through that portal.
Yeah, so now Pitt still trying to read into Astro Boy's movements here. Right now he's trying to lock him down and prevent him from going for the LG pickup, and there we go. Fortunately, fired the rocket off just a little bit too late, so he's not going to get any damage done here. Still controls the majority of the map right now, but oh, this could be a bit of an ill-advised dive. He took a lot of damage from the LGs, trying to escape to some more damage here before he completely falls back, but he can't really get it even done. So now he's going to fall back into the green room and look for that armor pickup when it comes in just about a second here.
Yeah, still in good shape. As long as he keeps control of that heavy armor, you can kind of live off of those health bubbles if you're clutch. But one thing you don't want to be living off is that light armor. It's very difficult to rebuild your stack to 150 using 25 pickups. I mean, it's going to take you a long time. Not to mention you have to hope your opponent never hits you. So it's very pivotal that he keeps running this heavy armor and steal the mega health when he can. I mean, if it's down to the point where, you know, each of them have an item.
And Pitt's been pretty much just camping in the green room for a good 30 to 40 seconds now, at least since the last spawn. He hasn't moved from this location just yet. So he is letting his opponent get the run of the map, along with the mega health, of course, back up on the top.
Nice fake there, too. He recognized Astroboy was kind of waiting for him to come up that pad, and he went right back down it. Daring Astroboy to go down into the swamp, as I like to call it down there. I mean, you know, it's close quarters, pop the shield, rocket launcher. I'm sure Pitt would love to get into engagement down here.
Astroboy, though, is smarter than that. He is not choosing to go downstairs in that situation. Thing is, though, is Pitt can just stay down here all day if he wants to. He's got the 3v1 advantage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's up to Astroboy to make the push right now. He's got a 2-frag lead, 2 minutes to go.
Well, there's a surprise all of a sudden. Meets him at the top of the steps. He's going to push back into him here. And unfortunately for Pitt, push comes to shove, and he is forced to pop that shield. He's not actually able to return all that much damage.
I like what Pitt's doing here, though, with the clutch. I mean, the advantage for the Anarchy is out in the open, obviously, and pushing down here into a tight armor area, you know, is going to be rough. And I think he deliberately, you know, was listening above earlier to keep those timers on. Just watch out here. Wow.
Was trying to do work with the rockets as well there as well, so it might not have been the best weapon selection for that fight. Unfortunately, the LG definitely comes out on top of that situation. So Astroboy is going to be able to pick up that first kill for himself in this round. He's got a minute and a half about to get the second kill.
Yeah, a little, I don't know if Pitt meant to go up that jump pad or not, but definitely should not have gone up the jump pad. I thought he should just got right back in the face with the rocket launcher. And I mean, going up the jump pad was just a guarantee of getting lit up right there. So
race for control over the armor here too, and it is going to end up forcing the pop of the stealth there from Pitt as he needs to use to escape. He's getting some good follow-up damage, however, and Astroboy's trying to chase down himself. Great work with the LG, just a few more, and he's got the kill, but he's switching over to the rockets all of a sudden. He'll use that injection to keep him in the fight. Another pickup for himself to play off of here as well. Now, all of a sudden, that last rocket comes in from Pitt and closes it out for Pitt as he takes round one.
You ran out of ammo. Astroboy ran out of ammo.
It's unfortunate on the LG.
And the rocket. He had nothing. All he had left was, that's why he had to swap. He ran out of the rocket launcher too at the end. So when he shot that rocket, he had to swap to rail, and he really had nothing left at the end of that.
Unfortunate.
So. Watch that ammo.
We've seen that happen a few times now.
We've even seen Rafa, you know, go to rocket jump and oops, don't have rockets. I mean, we've seen everybody do it. So. And hey, you know what? We mentioned this is a pressure situation. You know, all these players are really good. It puts pressure on you, and that's how those mental mistakes happen. So it's from pressure. It's not like these guys just forget. It's the other guy too.
Well, that's that first round, however, going over to Pitt as he looks to correct the mistake, I guess he would call it, from the previous map there, losing out so often. Now he's going to look to get another advantage going here. Problem is, though, is he's not going to have a great initiation. He shouldn't even really be taking this fight right now as he dives back into it. He's only got 50 HP to play off of. His opponent's going to chase him down with an LG. Pitt doesn't even have one to play off of. The good news is that his retaliation with the rockets were actually pretty decent. He brought Astroboy down to just under 25 HP, recovering some of it now, of course. But Pitt was also brought down extremely low, so he was not able to continue chasing down Astroboy. Both players respectively back up and disengage from that duel.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's in trouble, yeah. Just a little misread there. I mean, he heard the mega health and tried to run away, and, you know, a little too late. I was questioning whether or not he should even go up there and check for the mega health at that point, because he's really still in that rebuilding stack kind of mode. Astroboy made him pay, just got aggressive. He knew he was low.
Yeah, Pitt really had nowhere to run, unfortunately. Didn't want to get too aggressive to try and go in for some, like, 25 pickups, so he ended up having to back away from that one. And now this is going to be in a very similar situation. He's really scared of using the LG for some reason, and Astroboy just gets all this free usage of it as a result of that.
Yeah, just pushed into an Astroboy, man. For a ping, I mean, I think his lightning is superb.
And Astroboy trying to lock down exactly where Pitt went after the stealth. However, now Astroboy's used it. He's going to try to lock down the final kill on a Pitt here. Almost did it. One more rail shot, but Astroboy's also low. working with 15 HP, and there's Pit. Finally launched up that jump pad there to get his first kill.
Yeah, Pit decided, oh, you're going to rail me in the back like that? Well, I'm going to turn around and do the same thing to you. And oh my goodness, look at this, coming back again. I mean, really?
That was astroboy's mistake right there. I think he actually had confidence in his ability to get a kill with the gauntlet there, and just wanted to show off a little bit, but couldn't happen. And there's some good juking coming out here from Astroboy now as he's down onto the Anarchy. Whiffing rails all over the place, and he even misses the free one too. Oh, that could have been it for Pit right there. That could have been the reversal again.
Yeah, I'm sure Pit's shaking his head to himself a little bit right there. Those are some shots that I'm sure he wishes he could have back.
Well, he's got Mega Health coming up in a second, so he should be able to grab that. Maybe not, actually. He's going to be a little bit careful.
Yep, he's not in a great spot. You don't want to be out there. It's very exposed, and he's one rail away from death.
He missed the LG again. He just does not like the LG for some reason. So he just completely bypasses that. Sticking with just a basic stack here still. Looking to get that stealth back up so he's good for the next engagement if he gets surprised upon by Astroboy. But Pit still going to be sticking around over here. Waiting primarily, I think, for that Arbor to come back up. And now he spotted his opponent there. Another missed rail shot, though, and in comes the LG push again. That's the problem that I mentioned before. Pit can never counteract that LG work.
Yeah, it just seems like Astroboy is doing a really good job about getting the initiative with the lightning gun. And I mentioned it earlier about, you know, when you're getting in a lightning gun battle, especially if it's lightning gun versus lightning gun, whoever gets off that initial stream really does have an advantage to kind of start forcing your opponent and pushing them around a little bit.
Some good rockets coming out from Pit, however. Was able to push Astroboy back, but Astroboy's going to want to continue the fight on the LG now. He's got to be careful. Nice fadeaway rail coming in for Pit just as he's escaping that situation. Knows he has the armor coming up in about 4 seconds here, so he's going to look to pick that up, but he's going to be challenged for it. Preemptively trying to pop off some of the rockets, but it's not going to work. However, can he chase down and get the teleport? Nope, misses that one, and goodbye, says Astroboy as he leaps back up on the jump pad and escapes that situation.
Yeah, a little risky. Very tough to get a telefrag for the Nyx on an Anarchy who's so fast. Usually you see that on the tankier champions like Clutch and things like that, where it's kind of easier to get in that hitbox and make that mechanic work for you.
We're down to 40 seconds until we end up in overtime here, which we're going to hit regardless unless someone gets the kill here soon. And Astroboy, well, he almost just got it. Pit forcing a defensive stealth as he once again just eats all this LG damage and is brought down to just over 25 HP.
Yeah, Astroboy doing a good job with control again. It's kind of similar to that first map where I feel like Pit needs to be a little concerned about, you know, how much map control Astroboy has here. You're putting yourself in a tough position where you constantly have to out-damage your opponent to win engagements. You know, these guys are so good, you know, counting on winning every engagement like that is not a good idea. So he needs to do something here and try to wrestle back control, try to steal something from Astroboy. You know, typically it has to do with some peak rails and good ambush, you know. Unreturned damage, really, Quake, you know, if you can dish out unreturned damage, it's huge.
Astroboy just making the run around right now, trying to get Pit into the open. Pit's really been struggling to recover any of his own stack here, so Astroboy, he has, like I said before, he has had to run on the map for the most part. However, all of a sudden, Pit's going to find himself in a pretty rough spot, forced to pop off his injection there, and after he launches Pit into the air, well, it's going to be Pit that gets that final rail shot to close out on the second round here. He's at a 2-0 start. This is right where he was in the last map. Now he needs to get that third and final round to complete it.
Yeah, some clutch shooting from Pit right there to even the score. You know, he was, like you said, he wasn't in a great spot, but came around the corner, landed the rail he needed to get the win. And hey, I mentioned it earlier, talking with Stunna, it's all about winning.
So into the third round, and we'll get to see if Pit can complete the 3-0 sweep here on our third and final map and knock Astroboy out of the event. He is going to be pushed back. However, he gets the first rail shot. Pit with a high-speed rail shot, though, was zooming past Astroboy, but still able to hit it. And Astroboy connects another one. He's going to get right up in his opponent's face. The stealth pops out. Astroboy trying to run away from this one. Pit does have a pretty good lock onto his location, but chooses to evacuate the fight and head back inside of the Mega Health room.
He needs to be careful hiding here. Both items are up. I don't know quite what he's doing here. He's really giving Astroboy control. I'd be surprised if Astroboy doesn't get the heavy armor as well. No, he didn't go for it. Maybe he assumed Pit was going for it. And still, the heavy armor's just sitting there. It's definitely an oops. And so now Astroboy has them both split up 15 seconds apart, which is the perfect split in regards to timing. And yeah, Pit needs to be very careful right now. And yeah, Astroboy knows that he has full control.
There we go. Pit's going to lose that fight. Not really surprising there. Astroboy just had him on the run, and Pit was doing a really poor job of even just picking up like 25 health globes.
Yeah, he seemed to lose his I don't know. He definitely lost track of the heavy armor. I was because it's so early in the match. I was a little surprised that he lost track of it like that, because it's standard. You're going to pick it up 30 seconds, after the start of the map. So just interesting. Just looked like a little bit of a miscue.
Yeah, and astroboy, he's got himself the armor pickup again here now as he's pretty much fully stacked. Mega Health is going to be spawning in a second too. Pit's not even close to challenging that, so it's another walkover pickup for astroboy. Someone's going to control the power-ups, even spots Pit coming outside of the portal there, so hits him with a rail shot. He does take one back as well, but it's not as big of a deal for astroboy because he has all the extra stacks built up. And in a second, he can dive back down into the green room to look for the armor pickups. That's coming up right now. However, actually, Pit could beat him to it. He's got to be a little bit careful because of the rails here. It looks like he's able to move in, scavenge it. He only took one rail shot along the way.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a little late and then he decided to ambush because he was late, or if the plan was to ambush overall. It seemed like he was just a little bit late. Pit was there waiting.
Oh, they're going to end up pushing back a little bit here as astroboy looks for the shot. He was hoping to find him push out of the portal again. And there we go. Now he's finally getting it, but he gets it while he's looking away. As I think astroboy got a little bit distracted there, trying to go downstairs and keep track of the armor timing too. So he's going to pick that one back up. Still relatively low health, but he's going to be able to recover that pretty quickly. And now he's back up to pretty much a full stack again. It's all going to come down to who can control this health pickup here. And Pit does dive back in there, gets some good damage. He is able to pick up the mega health, so he gets that going for him. And now can run away, disengage, or choose to continue the fight.
A little shocked even before that. Again, Pit picked up the heavy armor, and then the next heavy armor, he just gave it up. I mean, he grabbed it. So the last of, like, I just don't know, maybe, again, the pressure. Astroboy is not exactly, an easy opponent here. So it just seemed like he lost track of his timing a little bit there.
Well, Pit back into the fray here now. Another rail shot brings astroboy just onto his default health. He is going to get a small couple 25 armor shards here, but right in that situation, Pit again with the weapon selection. Ends up in an unfortunate spot as he could have ended it right there with rockets if he timed it properly. Now again, close up and trying to work with the rail. That's not going to work, and trying to rockets at range after he loses the location of his opponent there, astroboy. Lets him run away. He's still going to be able to control the armor pickup, but he's going to lock down this kill soon as he is running low on time. Only a minute and a half now to get that trade.
Yeah, that was a big pickup there, actually. It looked like astroboy was going down the jump pad way to get down there. He was a little bit late. I think he was hoping that heavy armor was still sitting there waiting for him.
Well, Pit still trying to dive away from this situation here as he does finally bust out the LG. We haven't been seeing him using it for most of this match so far. Now, trying to avoid his opponent who wanted to continue the fight. It is going to end up in a rail fight. astroboy, he has the advantage here. He could one-shot Pit right now. I don't believe the same is true for Pit, especially now that astroboy got himself the full armor kit. However, Pit's just going to be sitting up top. He'll grab this mega health, and I don't even think astroboy's going to be close enough to challenge it. He'll have to look for him outside of the room here, right in this courtyard, is where they'll find their next challenge.
Yeah, astroboy probably looking to protect his lead a little bit here. He's got very little bit of time on the clock, so I mean, unless he's forced to fight, I think he's just going to try to back off and hit as he comes at him.
There's some good damage there. Misses the orb as well in order to continue just railing him at range. And there we go. With less than 30 seconds left, Pit finally completes the trade, but he's again found very low. And he wasn't the greatest at being able to scavenge around and get some of these health pickups this time. This time, however, gets himself the full armor. Was not able to steal away the mega health. But look at this, bounces his opponent down below. He's got him trapped. He can take an advantage here, but he's got to be careful. This is an aggressive fight. He's just standing on top of the eye.
Okay, I gotta criticize a little bit here the weapon selection by Pit. You know, dropping down with the rail. He had his guy on the ropes, and I'm sure he knows it. I mean, after the rocket rail combo, he had high position on the eyeball. He was looking to get that finishing rail. You can see him lining up. First of all, standing on top of the eyeball, very easy to hit. You saw astroboy kind of lined him up there. But on top of that, the angle should have gone. All he needed to do is switch probably to any other weapon but the railgun. He probably gets the kill there.
Well, Pit.
And granted, I know what he's thinking. You know, I just get that one more rail hit, you know, and that's a wrap. Yeah, but you know, sometimes it's better to take that sure thing, the higher percentage stuff. And we actually saw Carnage do that earlier. Remember, he hit those 3 rails in a row, and he swapped the machine gun.
Pit's going to find himself cornered again. This clutch is not going anywhere. Unfortunately, 10 HP. He's able to absorb a lot of the damage. But still, thankfully, that mega health pickups there, that just saved his life.
Yeah. That
timing worked out very luckily for Pit.
I'm sure he saw that. He was, thank goodness that thing is there right now, because he really needed it.
Pit is certainly hear astroboy swinging back in, but again, LG just dominating Pit on this clutch. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot that he can do to negate that unless he has the shield ready to go. Zipbox makes it so easy just to trace him down. And now, a close-up fight. Pit can actually win this now, forces the stealth pop. And he knows he's got the health spawn. It's coming up in a second, but oh, less than a second away from it spawning. Astroboy does move in and he gets the kill.
Yeah, very aggressive play by astroboy. Knew he was low and came in with the ghost walk. And wow, just following up again to see these guys following up with a kill with another kill within seconds sometimes.
So Astroboy has both the power-ups. It's brought it down to a 3v1. He could take this the distance again, go all the way up to round 5. Pit, so much struggle with closing out, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you know, wow. Considering where we started in this match and where we are now, yeah, I wonder. You know, I know he looks cool. He looks controlled up there. I wonder what he's thinking a little bit right now, going through Pit's mind, because he's kind of letting this match get away from him a little bit, you know, and I really felt he could have closed this out a while ago. So it's interesting to see, you know, pressure and things like that getting his advantage. Again, astroboy not making it easy. He's also running some good routes, doing some great job on item management. I have a feeling that he has an advantage here again with item management on the map, as we pointed out early in the first map, that could come back to haunt Pit a little bit. I think it might be right now.
He changed up his initial spawn too. He's gone with a ranger now. He's no longer going for the initial clutch spawn, as he knows how inefficient that's been for the most part.
Yeah, I think Astroboy, that's a good recognition. I mentioned that earlier, and I'm glad he took my advice. Now he's not listening to me. I'm just kidding. But I'm glad he decided to change it up like that. I didn't think the clutch was doing him any favors early on. Very few times.
Astroboy now playing things back a little bit here. He's taking things a bit more passively. He's not as eager to kind of dive into a fight versus Pit anymore, since he's not on that initial clutch spawn, and it makes it very easy for him to connect on some of that initial damage. So he's kind of hanging back a little bit more, and he's playing a more spammy playstyle as he does try to get some initial damage on the Pit, hoping that he'll get aggressive on Astroboy. He's got a nice opportunity to find a rail shot there too. There's the first connection for him over to the LG again. We've seen how confident he's been with that. Pit just under 50 HP right now, and he's got a little bit of armor to play off, but still 10 seconds away from the spawn too. So if Astroboy wants to chase this, you can find him downstairs. He can steal the armor away, but he would lose the mega health in the process because the timers are still neck and neck.
I tell you what, I keep saying it, but Astroboy's high ping lightning gun, kind of scared to see what this guy looks like on land. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, he's been a force to be reckoned with so far. Time he does have to bail out of the fight. It's a bit of an ill-advised engagement. He's trying to drop right down immediately from the jump pad Pit, but didn't work out. So now he's going to be looking for rail shots up close. Maybe not the best range to play this on, but he doesn't have a whole lot of rockets left over. Forced to pop off the stealth and tries to go back in, but Pit holds on. He gets the rocket shot, knocks out Astroboy, and gets the initial advantage in this round. Yeah, Astroboy got a kill like that last round, and I think Pit was not having any of it this time. I think Astroboy followed him several times actually in their previous rounds, and with the ghost walk in critical situations, right? It was a little risky, and I think Pit was a little more ready for it this time. Pit is continuing to hold on to his lead here right now as he hits some nice rail shots. Going for another one too. As long as he doesn't hit by the 90, he could kill Astroboy right there. And it's a good thing he got hit by the 80, but the problem is he backed up too soon. Instead of continuing the fight and trying to take down Astroboy, he fell back, thought that Astroboy wasn't going to chase him, and that fatal mistake led to a trade. Yeah, he turned his back to his opponent there, and wow, wow, just what a turnaround. What has this turned into?
I'm a little shocked right now. I'm a little shell-shocked.
As this could end potentially right here. Look at this Pit. He's getting aggressive. He's going to try to chase down the kill onto Pit, but Pit, he's low. Astroboy's still in a good situation, and with that, it's going to be Astroboy that takes it 2-1. And the player from Australia is going to be moving on to QuakeCon. Wow. Just heartbreaking for Pit, really. Hard fought. You know, he is a talent. He really is. Credit to Astroboy, again, for overcoming the high ping. It didn't start out well for him. He lost that first match. He was down in the second map. You know, it came back, stuck with it. Looking at the numbers here, I mean, a 25% lightning gun with a 180 ping is very impressive. I mean, I've played, played on European servers from California, played with high ping, and let me tell you, it is not easy to land lightning gun with high latency. Well fought by Pit. Tough luck, but hey, congratulations to Astroboy. See you at QuakeCon, buddy. Yeah.